Hello, everybody, and welcome to Movie Couple Live. This is a show where we talk about the latest in movie news and pop culture. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
Happy Saturday, guys, and welcome to today's discussion. Today on the show, we're talking about the Cinerama Dome in LA is back.
And would you pay $5,000 for a cocktail?
And also, of course, it's Saturday. It's Spoiler Saturday, so naturally we're talking about episode 4 of Miss Marvel entitled Seeing Red. All this and more on today's show. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you for all of you who tuned in on Wednesday for Dustin and Robert's show.
The first time that I was at the helm directing and coordinating, and
Yeah, baby.
even though I've always had a lot of respect for Wendy and how much work she does, it's a little bit deeper now. It's a little bit more, I understand.
You did a lot this week.
Understand.
So what happened was I was on set. I got like a little freelance gig as a production coordinator. So I was out for the majority of this week. I was out the whole week. So Dustin stepped up to the plate and he edited the episode 4 of Miss Marvel, our reaction. So the one that you see up on the channel. It was all this guy, thumbnail by me.
It.
Yay, you did it. And then, excuse me. And then Wednesday, of course, the live stream. I also was not able to be here. So Dustin called up Robert and was like, hey man, you want to come hang out and talk about movies and stuff? So yeah. So we appreciate you guys coming in and showing some love for Dustin.
Thank you guys so much.
Yes. So let's go ahead and jump into...
And speaking of which, late to the party is in the chat.
Oh, yay, late to the party.
How's it going?
Who says it was a blast even though we were missing our better halves. We got to do another one. Yay, we're back.
Yay.
We got to do another one where it's like
What's
the
all
four of us. Oh, actually, I haven't talked to Warren yet, but... we might be planning a trip to Phoenix, Arizona in October.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So that's TBD. Have not confirmed yet because we have to really sit down and talk about it and think about it because there's a couple of elements. But I'd really like to go and do it. We'll just see financially where we are and if we're able to. It's hard to plan that far ahead. It's kind of like, do I have that money right now? Sure do.
Will we have that money later on down the line?
After we've already spent it?
Don't know.
Yeah, so you know how it is. But we are not moving to Arizona. I'm not leaving California.
We are going on a trip, perhaps, maybe.
It's a temporary, just a couple of days, But no, I am never leaving California. You have to drag me out.
Yeah, we're quite
happy.
entrenched here in Southern California.
Yeah, we built our life here. We got married here. All of our friends are here. His parents are here. So the only other place I can see myself moving to would be Taiwan because my family is there. And I don't ever really... I see them like every 10 years, which is ridiculous. But flights are expensive. So in any case, that is the... Yeah, sorry. I will... Robert, I will text you and I'll explain after the live. That's a cute thumbnail, huh?
Mm-hmm. I think I want to keep that way.
Yeah, okay. I'll leave it on there. So thank you so much to Theodore Harris for the first super chat of the day.
Thank you so much.
Yay! Theodore writes, hey guys, have you seen the leaked Wakanda Forever art that came out today? It looks amazing.
No, I have not seen it yet. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have because it's on Instagram and you can't mute things on Instagram. My friend Warren posted a thing to Cosmic Wonder account. And I was like, what is this? Oh, okay. So we, if it's leaked, then I'm not going to show it. You guys can do a Google yourself. Google's free. And if you happen to want to see it, great. I actually think it's in our Discord. So if you guys are on Discord, then you can go ahead and check that out. But there is, it looks like, it's not like photo from the set.
It's just drawings.
It's like drawing, but there is a photo of Shuri and I can't remember who it was in the Dora Milaje. It's one of the ladies. Because I looked at it real quick. I was like, oh my eyes! I didn't want to see this yet. Namor, however you say.
Oh.
And then another character, Okoye. Thank you so much to Theodore for saying that. And then the other character is Atuma? Sorry, I'm not saying it right.
I think it's Atumo.
I think that's how it is. Atuma.
Atuma.
Theodore Harris with the facts. And yes, and there is also a photo of Riri Williams.
Oh.
So those are really, really cool.
That's right.
Again, if they're leaked, we can't show them here, but I can't control what you guys Google. So there is that. Y'all, this room is hot.
Oh, I can't believe,
It is warm in here. You guys, it's been hot in LA, and I get it. It's the summer. It is currently where we are. Oh, it's not that bad. Why is it so hot in here? 87 degrees. I guess the studio lights are...
Yeah, it's kind of baking us a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to be sweating a little bit. So, Tu-Ma is the other character. So, I think they all look pretty cool to me. So there is that. If you guys want to check that out, thank you so much to Theodore for bringing that to the attention of the chat, so you guys can go and take a look. MK says, cannot wait to see Tenoche, is that how you say it? Huerta as Namor. And then...
I'm really excited too, because this does confirm a lot of things. Mm-hmm. One, that we are getting Namor into the MCU, and pretty soon. And the fact that we got Riri Williams, even though I think we already knew that from casting and announcements like that, but to kind of get more of an idea
but you gotta
of
see what
we're going to be given.
Too. It's pretty cool what she looks like.
Oh, really?
I won't tell you. If you want to look at it, you can look at it, but I won't tell you. I won't even describe it. You guys don't describe it either.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go look it up. I'm super excited about it. This is, one of the movies that we have all just been gnawing at the bit to finally get and to finally see. Yes. And these little spoilers just get dropped and teased.
Yeah.
So now it just gets us talking more. So I'm excited to go and see this concept art.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you've seen it.
Did something happen?
What do you mean?
Oh. Okay, so I'm sorry. I got distracted because I saw one of Debbie's comments in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, did you hear about the Schmoedown ellipses?
Huh?
And I was like, so...
What happened?
After 9... I'm reading the Twitter right now. After 9 truly memorable seasons, it is with bittersweet hearts that we announced the movie Trivia Schmoedown will be concluding this fall.
Wait, isn't they're not doing it anymore?
Well, they'll do it until the fall, it sounds like. We're proud of the show we produced and want to sincerely thank the Schmoedown community for their support. Okay, the challenges of the pandemic and the hurdles to delivering live events have made it no longer feasible to us to continue in this format, and as a result, we felt it right time to end the program. Oh, wow. While we will not make another season of the show, we are considering alternative ways to entertain the loyal Schmoedown community that has been a part of the MTS family alongside Christian and Mark for the past decade.
9 seasons, though. I have to admit, that is a pretty good run.
So they're ending it with the spectacular number 7. Geez, I remember... I think my involvement, and by the way, I never really competed in a Schmoedown. I helped coordinate it, when it was a part of the Collider, and even when it was, moved away after for a little bit. But, my first big exposure to it was when it was at the Collider studio.
Yeah.
And I was the competitors would come in, and it just, I've watched it gotten, bigger and bigger and bigger, and I think it's really incredible what the team was able to put together out there, and for anybody who's been a fan of the movie Trivia Schmoedown, just know that there's people that work really, really hard behind the scenes, that are the unsung hero of that whole production. So just think about that. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, tweet your favorite memory of the Schmoedown. So that's some news. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, to Debbie. Okay, what were you saying? We were talking about Riri? Or were we talking about the Black Panther?
Well, when we were talking about Black Panther, it was because we know Ironheart is going to be one of the new Disney Plus shows. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we're going to be introduced to Riri Williams in this movie, and now we're definitely going to get Namor.
Yeah.
And it's just always so cool to see the MCU growing. So I'm super excited to see where this movie is going to be like. Okay, not only do we have Wakanda and Black Panther, but we're going to go off in this direction for Namor, this direction for Riri. What other directions have they not told us, because they want us to be surprised? Because we still have that one actress who looks perfect for Storm.
Yes.
Who very much
she was
might
not
be.
A part of the arts.
Nope.
So, and I like that, that they haven't confirmed or denied anything about her.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we won't know anything. Maybe she won't even be in the trailer, and then we will just find out in the movie, because that would be really, really, really great.
Yeah, and Theodore, who knows? Maybe Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And see, I mean, honestly, they're bringing in the Fantastic Four at the end of Phase 4, so it's very possible that, yeah, we get some kind of introduction to Doctor Doom. Maybe they'll just drop the name of the country that he rules over.
Oh, wow.
Put it in the chat. I'm terrible at names. But yeah, maybe we'll just get a name drop. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll get some kind of mysterious villain that's behind the curtains that they don't know. Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where are you seeing this?
It just came in the chat.
Latveria.
But yeah, honestly...
Latveria.
Latveria. So, and honestly, I'm just excited to see more and more of the MCU grow.
Absolutely. So it's very exciting whenever there's, like a new art that you're like, ooh, I can't wait. And we'll get that this year too. So that's very, very, very exciting. Francisco is in the chat, says, hey folks, just wanted to say thank you for your hard work and always enjoying your channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Just resting for my second day after surgery. Have a great weekend. Francisco, thanks for stopping in.
Put some hearts.
Put some hearts in the chat, please.
Hearts in the chat.
For our friend Francisco. Hope you. Hey, Navi, don't do that. Oh my, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That was right. But yes.
Welcome to our live show, guys, where it's not professional
Squirrel.
at all. I'm very off the cuff. It was dog mom in action right there.
Mm-hmm. Come here, Navi.
No,
say hi to everyone.
No, leave her alone.
Okay, fine.
Leave her alone. She doesn't want to get picked up. Okay. Ruru2 says San Diego Comic-Con probably get Black Panther 2 trailer. I don't know. I know Marvel is going. We are planning to go to San Diego Comic-Con, but we don't have a hotel because we missed Hotel Apocalypse. Because I never got that email. So, we have passes. We can go, but I'm not sure. And I'm on a panel, so it's like we're there, but I don't have a place to stay. So we'll see how that goes. We probably have to buy a hotel room. Mm-hmm. And then, what was I going to say? It's okay. I lost my train of thought. But that is, I don't know if they'll show it, because I feel like that's something they'd want to save for D23, which is literally less than 2 months after. That we've also applied press badges for, so fingers crossed that we get approved so we can go, because otherwise we're out of luck because it is sold out. Okay, let's go ahead and take this next super chat from Marvin Martin, and then we'll dive into our topics. Hey,
thank you
Navi,
so much, Marvin.
come on. You okay? You want to read out Marvin's super chat? I'm just going to make sure she's okay.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so our super chat from Marvin Martin. By the way, thank you so much, Marvin Martin. We actually have some recommendations. I love Marvin's recommendations. So we've got Colin Dickey's Unidentified, analysis on fervor for UFOs, Bigfoot, Nessie, etc. Bardogo's When Waters Sung Fire, original of Little Mermaid's Ursula. Ooh, that actually sounds really good. You know what? There's a story, isn't there's like a huge story behind what happened with the merfolk and whatever race Ursula is. I guess the squid folk, because
An octopus.
Yeah, or an octopus. Oh yeah, that's right. Octopus, not squid. Big difference. But there was like a battle going on, and isn't like the merfolk almost like wiped out all of her people? It's actually pretty dark, and that would explain why Ursula so badly wants to hurt King Triton, and why she just has this disdain for all merfolk. So I'm actually would be excited to kind of learn that story. Is she okay?
I think so.
Navi, make sure you're being a good puppy, okay? But thank you so much, Marvin Martin, for that super chat and for those recommendations.
Yes. Sorry about that, you guys. Had to do dog mom things. All right. So are we ready to move on to our...
we did get one super chat from Chris Mendez.
Hi,
Thank
Chris.
you so much, Chris.
How are
Woo!
you? All right, Chris's choice. Chris says, if we could get a series about any Star Wars characters, who would you choose? I would choose Donnie Yen's character and his friend, Baz Melbus from Rogue One.
That would be a
Would have
good
to-
one.
It would have to obviously be a prequel.
Yes. I'm one with the Force and the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force and the Force is with me.
I would love a Disney Plus series.
Mm-hmm. On those two.
With, oh my god, Donnie Yen. Maybe like
Who
prior
knows?
to like maybe he's not blind. If it's a prequel, like early.
Who knows? They might show up in Andor.
Because it is before.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. That's very
Did
possible.
they? I'm trying to remember. Did they know each other before Rogue One? Or did they meet for the first? I think they met for the first time.
But they
in
maybe
Rogue
have
One.
known each other. No, I don't think they knew.
I don't think they
knew
actually knew each other.
No. So, ooh, intrigue though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would actually be a really fun one to see. Okay, but another character that they're not making. So, Andor would be is where we're probably going to get a lot of them. Honestly, I would love to see one about
Any
Kanan.
Star Wars character.
Kanan
Ooh.
from where we see him in the Bad Batch.
Uh-huh.
Where we actually see his master getting killed and he escapes. But his young life, trying to, meeting up with Hera, joining the crew of the Ghost. That beginning. I think that would be a really good story. A character to follow. But then, of course, you still also have, like, a lot of the Legends characters. I would love to see something about Darth Revan or Darth Bane.
Revan probably the one that I would pick for a series. I think a lot of fans would really enjoy that. And another one, and I hesitate to say this because he's already kind of, have a lot of screen time, I guess, in various animated series, but like Darth Maul would be interesting to see live action of.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. Just put Ray Park back in him doing all the things that Ray Park does.
And they get Sam's voice in there.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
apparently they dub Ray Park's voice for everything. I feel so bad for the guy. He does all these cool stunts and all these cool fight scenes.
What did he speak in X-Men?
I think they changed his voice for X-Men too.
Jeez.
If I'm not mistaken. So, because I know they changed it for Darth Maul. I know they changed it they changed it in the original in Phantom Menace and in Solo. So, yeah, he never gets to keep his own voice. Kind of like, the original Darth Vader.
It's very sad. That's very sad. Debbie, I will take a look at that DM. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our first...
Our first topic of the day. Yes. Oh, we're running out of battery.
So, yeah, I need to plug this guy
Battery.
in. So professional. So professional. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our first topic. Oh, you know what? Before we do, there's a couple of things I do want to talk about. You guys know that we have been working with Liquid IV. It is the summertime. It is hot. We actually I think we have one more sleeve left, so we're waiting for the next delivery. But for this weekend only, normally our code, which is right here, gives you 25% off. For this weekend, it gives you 30% off, and I still believe you get free shipping. They didn't really tell me otherwise. So if you've been dying to try out Liquid IV, if you are running low on your Liquid IV, it is a good time to restock, and this weekend is it because you get 30% off, and they have new flavors like the tropical punch, which is like there's pineapple and like citrus. It is actually
a little bit of coconut in there.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. And
this is the season to get it too. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be sweaty. You're gonna have to rehydrate. So
if you were at Anime Expo, we hope you're staying hydrated, staying masked, and drinking your Liquid IV.
Have you seen pictures?
It looked
for that. I mean, they were like crammed
crazy.
in there, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Even what is it called? You told me that the fire marshal was called and said you can't fit any more people in here.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was really crazy. So there's that. And
but also we've got our merch.
Yeah.
We've got merch for sale.
That's the Movie Couple t-shirt, and they're also running a sale this weekend, and you can just click on the link below this video, and if you don't see it, just go ahead, or if it's not working, just go ahead and refresh, and it should work for you. And guys, shirts are at like $14, so it's a pretty hefty discount. I want to say it's like 35% off.
And we got stickers.
And we have stickers, and oh, you don't have it, and I don't have it.
No. Well, imagine this.
But on a sticker.
But on a sticker.
Yeah. So, and we actually have another logo idea, another shirt idea that I will talk to Ashley about after this weekend. So, Ashley, stay tuned for an email. All right, let's go ahead and go to our first actual topic, which is the Cinerama Dome.
Yay!
So this is very exciting because during the pandemic, many businesses were shuttered. One of the ones that was hit very, very badly was movie theaters because it's indoors. People are sitting in it for a prolonged period of time, which kind of prolongs your exposure to the very contagious COVID.
And also, you want to take off if you were wearing a mask and you have popcorn, you want to be able to eat your popcorn. So you're also taking off your mask while inside, while sitting around people for multiple hours.
Yes. So during the pandemic, the Decurion Corps, which is the business that had owned the Cinerama Dome since it was built in 63, they, shuttered 17 locations, including the ones in LA, which is like the ArcLight chain and the Pacific Theaters, and they filed for bankruptcy. And now they have held on to their prized possession, which is where the Hollywood ArcLight is, which is right next to the Cinerama Dome. And it's kind of like one of those things that like people come to LA and they like kind of like to go by and like take pictures.
Yeah.
It's sort of a landmark. And we love ArcLight. I love walking in. You see the giant clock. Their popcorn is the best popcorn out of all the theater chains.
And I love how they always decorate the dome too.
Yes.
They put Minions up there. They put Godzilla up there.
Mm-hmm.
I think they put Poe when they did the Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah.
So it really is a Hollywood landmark.
And it is like a moviegoer's dream when you go. And I don't know if maybe they kind of do the similar thing at the Alamo Drafthouse, but there's no trailers that play before a movie. And they're also, some theaters are like 21 and over. And I don't know if they still did that, but because most of the times when we go, it's for a press screening. So it's kind of, almost like in a way invite only, but they are very strict on your use of cell phones and talking during the movie. There is definitely an usher always kind of situated in the theater to keep an eye. Everything is very orderly. There is an usher that comes out and kind of will welcome the theater and tell you about a little bit about the movie you're about to watch, kind of like a small presentation. No trailer, you just jump right into it. The food is really
Super
good.
nice. There's
a restaurant attached to it at the ArcLight. So,
and the reason why we know all of this, that they're going to be opening up again soon, is that they recently qualified for a liquor license.
They were
so they're
granted
going to have
a liquor
two
license.
bars and a restaurant. So I'm super excited because some of the food that they're talking about having sounds pretty fancy.
Yes, and this was the information was obtained by Variety, and the new name for the complex is going to be known as Cinerama Hollywood, which is, it doesn't take away from the old thing. I think people will still refer to it as the Dome because it is literally a dome, but I kind of do like the Cinerama Hollywood rename. So it doesn't tell us when that theater will open, but it's not like they demolished it. It's not like they went in and took things out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just a matter of time. I'd like to think that,
give them a few like a couple months.
Yeah, maybe. I think by September, so they can catch all the holiday movies potentially.
Yeah. I was kind of bummed that they weren't able to get it up and going for the summer movie blockbusters.
Yeah,
because that's the kind of time period we really want to be able to go to the theaters, sit in some free AC, have some delicious food, and watch the blockbusters of the summer.
Yes. So if you have never if you live in LA, you've never visited the Cinerama Dome or ArcLight Hollywood, when they reopen, we highly suggest you go. It is a beautiful location, and the parking's pretty easy as well. Like, people think oh, Hollywood, I personally don't like going to Hollywood, being, living in LA myself. I actually hate driving to Hollywood, not because of the traffic, more so for the parking, because it's either you get really lucky and you find one, or you have to decipher the 20 signs that's posted on the street sign where you're
really expensive.
Okay, or you park in a structure that's super expensive, $24 dollars for the day or something insane.
It's almost worth it to park somewhere outside of Los Angeles and then Uber in. Something that we used to do is I used to pick you up from Collider a lot. and then we would just meet at Collider and then Uber in.
And we would go to Veggie Grill, which is like, we would try to get there early, go to eat at Veggie Grill is like one of my favorite things to do. There's also another bar that's like really close by that has like pretty good food as well. So I'm excited. Hey, Lucky Boy is in the chat, says hi from Ukraine, guys.
Oh,
hello.
Hi, Lucky Boy.
How are
how
you?
How you holding up?
Yeah, are you okay? Thanks for stopping in to watch. Gotta love it. Hope everything is okay over there. All right. Brosif of Phoenix TV says, did you see Namor new design? I don't like it. You know what? It is literally the first design. I am just so happy to even see anything about Namor, however, I'm going to pronounce it twice just in case. So
one of them will be right.
There's going to be more photos and more art that comes out. So I'm going to reserve judgment for when we see more, but gets me excited. Okay, should we move on to the next topic, Dustin?
Yes, next topic.
All right, let me go. My computer's moving a little slowly. So, this is just a small thing. It's really more for me because I just came off of production, so I feel like I kind of want to talk about it. Let me go ahead and take this off and put this on. It's cool. My mouse doesn't want to work. Fun. All right. So, for TV productions that are shot in Los Angeles, for the longest time...
And indoors, right?
Indoors specifically, which I don't even know if this ever changed because every productions I've seen photos of, people still mask up. But apparently, an article by Variety, film and TV productions that are filmed in LA will now require crew members to wear masks indoor. From what I can understand, especially for SAG projects, unless you're Zone A, your mask is staying on. And Zone A are those usually actors that are, in front of the camera because you can't really film them with the mask on with their dialogue. And so those usually are the people who have their masks off. However, off camera, generally, they still have to keep their masks on other than like lunch. And outdoors, that may be a different thing, but I still see a lot of production photos that outdoor people's got their masks on other than talent. So I was kind of like a little puzzled by this, but they're mandating it now because the hospital admissions for the coronavirus positive cases, have gone up. They've reached more than 8 per week per 10,000 population, which is kind of the guideline that LA follows.
And that's something that I really like, is that they have this marker. Like, okay, guys, as soon as we get over this number, then the mandates go into effect. And it seems like as soon as they reached 8.1, they're like, okay, we're over. We've got to we have to have these mandates go into effect. And then as soon as it drops back down, then we can go back to being a little bit more relaxed.
Right. And here's the thing is that, like, sure, like wearing masks can be annoying, but if you follow the protocol, you lessen the risk of having to shut down your production because it takes one person to test positive before all the other people start to, test positive. So even though I believe on set they have to test daily, like I just came from a set and we tested daily every single day. So I still imagine that that's the case. But to prevent production shutting down, which would kind of domino effect into, everything else running late, and then we push back movies and etc., which is kind of crappy. So not surprised. But let's keep it up. Production team fighting. You got this.
Go, production. We can do it. We can still make our awesome movies.
Yes. Oh, my computer is going very slow right now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to... Got the rainbow wheel of thinking.
The spinning pinwheel of death.
Why isn't this going away? How come you don't want to go away? That's not good. Oh, cool. Nothing's working.
Are we glitching on?
No, we're okay.
On YouTube?
We're all right.
We're doing good.
Oh, I closed both of the tabs. I'm gonna close this.
Okay.
I think that's what's messing me up. I think it's also the heat.
Yeah. The computers and software and technology don't do very well in heat. And we're really pushing the boundaries of trying to use our AC to a certain point. Or else it's just going to be running all day long. And then it's going to go kaputskis on us. And then we're just going to be like, well, shit.
Yeah, so... We're trying our best here. Navi's trying her best, guys.
Come on, Navi, go! Oh, she's passed out.
No, she's mad at me, I think.
Oh, she's all harumphy.
Yeah, I think she's harumphy because I yelled at her and then I wiped her down, and she's not having it. She's on strike.
Wait, if you want, I can see if I can bring up the notes.
Yeah, it's just not working for me. It is not working okay for me. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Professional show.
Go team, go.
We never said we were professionals.
Oh, I think I brought it up. Is this it?
I got it on my phone.
Oh, yeah. So the next topic that we were going to talk about is either going to be...
It's the Dune one.
The Dune one. We can talk about Dune. Let's bring up Dune. Because... Unfortunately, the Dune release date has been pushed back.
Yes.
Variety has come out with an article that talked about Dune and also Godzilla versus King Kong. Mm-hmm. But what we want to focus on is that the production has been moved back from its original date in October 20th, 2023.
Not production, but the release date.
The release date. My apologies. The release date of the movie is pushed back from October 20th, 2023 to November 17th. So it's been pushed back almost an entire month.
That makes me so sad.
Mm-hmm.
I am very excited to see part 2 of Dune. I really thought
I love the first one.
Really, really great. So that's kind of a bummer. But you know what? Take the time you need to make a really fantastic movie. Like, don't rush. Just do it. We'll be here for the movie.
When also, the big thing about Dune is that it did so well with two big things going up against it. Mm-hmm. One, it was coming out when the pandemic was still pretty hot. Mm-hmm. And also it did pretty well even though they dropped it at the same time on HBO Max.
Oh, you read it wrong.
What?
So it's only pushed back for a month, October 20th, 2023 to November 17th, 2023.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought, but then you said almost a whole year.
No, I said a whole month.
Oh.
I think so.
I heard wrong.
It might be. I might have done a little bit slip of the tongue, a little Freudian slip. But yes, I did mean that it's moved from October 20th of 2023 and bumped back to November 17th of 2023. So yeah, only 1 month, but still, for a movie that we loved. We loved seeing this movie.
Good.
It got 10, what is it? It got 10 Oscar nominations and won 6 of those 10. Which is a pretty good ratio.
And the cast is stellar.
Yes.
Plus with the new addition that they've added Florence Pugh, they've added Austin Butler, who kills it as Elvis.
Oh, if you guys have not seen Elvis, that is a movie that's going to get a ton of Oscar nods.
Yeah. Steve Calderon says, Dune 2 now opens the same day as the Hunger Games prequel. You know, I wouldn't doubt it if then Hunger Games, the prequel, moves.
You know,
it can't compete against it. I know it's YA versus, sci-fi, but...
Those are still two very close in... I'm not going to say proximity, but I'd say that they'd still kind of draw the same kind of audience. Mm-hmm. I'm not quite sure. Honestly, I think, Dune would definitely beat out the Hunger Games.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's a huge, huge movie. So, I'm definitely looking forward.
But still, you also don't want unnecessary competition. So either the Hunger Games is going to probably bump back or bump forward.
I wonder if the Hunger Games will come out then the month before, too. Like, they can take the October 20th date. Because who is Dune worried about going up against? It's Dune. You know? So,
after winning 6 Oscars and making a buttload of money.
Yes. Another movie that's also going to be released in 2024, that is going to be Godzilla vs. Kong. I guess the second one, the prequel, the sequel to the current Godzilla vs. Kong, and that is going to be released on our anniversary, March 15th, 2024. So that's something to look forward to if you're looking forward to the next chapter.
Some more kaijus.
More kaiju
fighting
battles.
each other.
Yes, let them fight. All right. Should we go ahead and move on to the next topic?
Yes, next topic.
I have to, hold on a second. I have to use my phone because my thing doesn't want to work. Okay, let's talk about, I'm very, very, very excited to kind of talk about this. And especially I want to hear the chat's thoughts on this next topic. Hey, my mouse doesn't want to work. That's super fun.
Everything's not working.
This is why I didn't want to plug in my mouse. Because it didn't want to work. All right. So as you can see, the topic below me, there's a $5,000 cocktail. and it is called the Kyber Crystal. And no, it's not spelled the same as Kyber Crystal, the crystal that goes inside a Jedi's lightsaber, but that is a drink that you can order aboard the newest Disney cruise line, and I think it's called the Wish. My friend Tessa is currently on it right now. I think she disembarks today.
I can't wait to see some of the stuff that she posts.
Yeah, it's already on her Instagram, so if you want to check it out, you can. So here is some more detail about this very exclusive and elusive $5,000 drink that you can get only on the Disney Wish. So, because I asked her about it, and she's like, I'm not really sure, because I think on the it's listed on the menu, but it doesn't tell you what's on it. So I think in order to know what is on it, is you have to fork over your $5,000. So we finally have some information, and I am pulling up the Laughing Place is the website that I found, and they pulled their source from Twitter by the user Scott Gustin, who was on Twitter, and according to him, the $5,000 cocktail is an experience. There's also obviously the drink that comes with it, but it also includes, well, let's just go ahead and tell you exactly what it is. So it comes in a, what do you call those?
Oh, the thing that the Mandalorian had all of that metal in. It's funny. It was
the Beskar in.
Yeah, the Beskar. Thank you. But it
it's not called the Beskar.
No, it's not. But it was holding the Beskar.
Yes.
But it's also originally from the the Empire Strikes Back.
The
Cloud City.
I know how
someone had an ice cream maker as they were running out.
Like, I know how it's spelled. MK put it in the chat. The Camtono. Mm-hmm. Sure, let's just say that.
We'll just call it that.
Yeah. Yeah. Derek 11 says the ice cream maker.
The ice cream maker.
So it does come in that, and it does open, and there's like, sort of like the little cloud fog that comes out. It's very theatrical, very, very cool. So it includes, here are the bullet points, and this is again from Scott Gustin from Twitter, who writes, included is one drink featuring the Camus Cognac 416. And then it says Disney Wish behind it. I don't know if that's exclusive to Disney Wish. Yuzu and kumquat, which I guess is like the flavoring, and Grand Marnier Quintessence, as well as 3 shots. And it comes with the Pappy Von Winkle's Family Reserve 23-year bourbon, which I also read that like that bottle in itself is like $6,000. You're not getting the bottle; you're just getting a shot of it. But that sounds pretty significant. There is also Taylor's Kingsman's Edition Very Old Tawny Port, and then I read, I think that bottle is like $3,000. And then the last thing listed for the last shot is the Watenshi Gin. The 4 drinks that you get inside your Camtono, or Camtano, however you say it, are on a silver plate, and you get to keep the plate and the cups, which I believe. And then on top of that,
no, at first I thought all you got was drinks.
Yeah, like I would not pay $5,000. I can't even drink.
And then I got really upset because I was like, you don't get to keep the Cantona or whatever you want to call it, the ice cream maker. I'm like, oh come on, for $5,000. But when I found out the other things that you got with it, then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to buy it. But someone who has the money, I can definitely see them buying it, because there's still a lot of pretty cool stuff.
Yes, and right before we get to that, I wanted to go to the chat because my eyes directly went to RMD Collective's comment, who says, I wish there was a Camtono rice cooker. Shout out to all my Asians. If there was one, we have it right now. We would buy it right now. And every time you like hit the button, it releases the steam. It's like, shh.
Oh, that would be fun.
I would make rice. I mean, I already make rice almost every other day, but like it would be every day then, just so I can use it. MK Somber says, the Camtono is not included. Boo. Debbie says, it better have a real Kyber crystal in it for the price. Okay, so here is what else you get. So you get the 4 drinks, obviously consume them. Very fine top shelf liquor. You also get a Star Wars backpack, water bottle, other gifts. That's what it says. Other gifts. I'm reading it verbatim. A hyperspace-themed room decoration, a bottle of sparkling wine from Skywalker Ranch. But the most interesting part, and I think this is why people want to pay the $5,000, is it includes a trip for one person and one person only to Skywalker in Northern California, which is not open to the public. It's not like something you can just like pop in and like say, oh, I just want a tour. Like you have to be invited or work there.
Or pay $5,000
or pay
for
$5,000 to it. So there's also this very interesting tidbit that I had missed yesterday when you and I were talking about it.
Something about, get escorted.
You get, a special themed escort off the ships. So what does that mean? Because this cruise specifically that all my friends are on, they embark and disembark in Florida at the port, which is where a lot of the cruise ships come from. So if you're being escorted, do they like drive you to Miami Airport, which is not that far from there, and then they fly you immediately via private jet or something like that to Skywalker Ranch? Like, how do you arrange that? That's what I want to know. And if whoever these people are that were able to experience the drink, the special package of the Kyber Crystal, like, I want to know exactly how that is done. So
yeah, and honestly,
that is what we know about it.
I can see people buying this solely to be able to go to Skywalker.
If I had the money, I would.
Yeah, I mean, to be
We'd
able
have to buy two.
We'd have to buy two. Or we'll just have you go and just do a vlog of it yourself.
That sucks. No, but I want people to, like, I want you to come and experience it with me. So, yeah. Wilhelm Hedling says, 5K? Yeah, no. It's expensive. It's very expensive.
Really expensive. And it seems like there's also a lot of things that Disney's coming out with that is really catering to the...
We're not in that tax bracket.
We're not in that tax bracket, no.
There's
you were telling me about a $109,000 trip that goes to
it's basically just under $110,000.
Just basically a little bit under $110,000.
Only 75 spots. All have sold out, and it's a trip around the world. You go to 9 different cities in 24 days. Your lodging, your food, your visits to the parks, like entry to the park, all of that is taken care of.
But it's all of the parks.
All of the parks. So you get to go to all the parks in Orlando. So Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and etc. The parks here on the West Coast, Disneyland and California Adventures. You get to go to the Shanghai Park, the Hong Kong Park, the Paris Park, the Tokyo Park. I would die to go to... And you get to visit, they said the Eiffel Tower, which is if you're in Paris. But you also go to Egypt. Yeah, you get to go and see the pyramids of Giza, which is insane.
It's pretty much, if you wanted to have one trip where you do everything on your, like, bucket list, this is the trip.
Yeah, that is the trip. And you just retire from any other curricular
activity. Yes. The rest of your life, you're just working to make it up.
You don't do anything else. Yeah, you just have to, like, God, I'd be piss poor. Mm-hmm. I don't even have that kind of well, 75 people have that money.
We'd be eating ramen for the rest of our lives. Ramen and maybe some mac and cheese. Even though mac and cheese has gotten expensive recently.
Gotta go to the 99-cent store for that. Yeah, that is crazy. All right. With that said, let us know your thoughts on the $5,000 cocktail aboard the Disney Wish. It's called the Kyber Crystal. If you had the money, would you get it? Specifically, you're getting it to gain access to visit Skywalker Ranch. Would you do it? If you had the money, would you go on this crazy 24-day trip, with lodging and food included, but you are paying just under $110,000? Let us know in the comments, in the chat. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next topic, which is Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel.
Spoiler discussion. So we are going to be going into some big spoilers. If you have not seen episode 4 yet of Miss Marvel, we are giving you a huge warning right now. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers lie ahead.
Yes, and also we highly suggest that you're only in here if you have watched the episode, as well as our reaction, because we're just going to talk about it. There's no secrets here. We're going to, if you're in here, we're going to assume that you are either okay with spoilers or 2, you have already watched all the things that we just named off. And with that, this series to us, I think it started off really, really good. I've been liking the vibe. It's fun and it's energetic. The coloring, it's so vibrant. I'm loving Iman as Kamala. I love her family. I love her friends. I love seeing her journey of making, kind of, it's a fantasy, right? I always want to be a superhero.
Yeah.
She kind of like, I know it's written already in the story because she's Miss Marvel, but she kind of like manifested this, and she's like, now she's a superhero, and now she gets to kind of deal with the whole, with great power comes with great responsibility. And
possibly has a lot of parallel
yes.
to one of her favorite superheroes, Miss Marvel, because if that bangle that she is wearing is somehow actually connected to the Kree, then it's actually possible that she does have that connection with Carol Danvers. And I believe, what is it? Someone in the chat, it scrolled by so fast. As soon as we said we're going to get into spoiler chat for Miss Marvel, the chat just went nuts. But someone said, do you think Carol's going to show up?
Yeah, Stephen Gamble says it. Do you think Carol is going to show up to set up the Marvels? I mean, if it's not her, then maybe it's Monica.
Yeah. It's going to be one or the other, or possibly both.
I like to see Carol in an end credit scene.
Especially the fact that you're right. The Marvels is going to have all of them in there. So it would be very smart for them to kind of throw in a little... my guess is it's probably going to be an end credit scene that connects... that will be at the very end of the last episode. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have all of Kamala's adventure, and then you'll have that one end credit scene of Carol Danvers and maybe Monica showing up.
Yes.
And saying, revealing something of their next adventure together.
So what's interesting about this one is it really the very minimal time jump. They literally ended episode 3 with Nani calling Kamala and was like, you gotta come to Karachi. I saw the train too. Wait, what? And then now she's on a plane with her mother going to Karachi.
And that's also something that I'm surprised that they didn't really explain a little bit more. Mm-hmm. How exactly did she see the train? Because I can see that Kamala saw it because she had the bangle on. Mm. But how did her grandmother see it? Because she didn't...
it makes me feel like she's got the other bangle, but I don't know. Or she's maybe... Well, she had the bangle previously. You don't have to wear it to harness its power. It unlocks what is inside of you.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
that's right.
when she was speaking to... She was so very casual about the jinn stuff.
How can you talk so casual about this?
And, Kamala's mom had always said, like, oh, that woman, like, and they even had that discussion, just the two of them, talking about, like, all these fantasies. Like, it was embarrassing. It was weird growing up knowing that, like, your mother believed in all this stuff. So it kind of makes sense that Nani would have some sort of experience or connection to that.
Mm-hmm. And with the way that this episode's ending up, I'm kind of curious on what, because the grandmother talks about that trail of stars.
Yes.
That led her right back to her right back to her father.
Yes.
I'm really curious where that trail of stars came from. If it might have been...
You had the theory. Go ahead
that
and
it might be Kamala, since at the end of this episode, you see her in that time period. Now, either it might just be like a memory. It might... I don't know if she's there physically in the past.
Sure seemed like it.
It sure seemed like it. But she was dressed completely different. No one happened to acknowledge her.
Well, I think also, let's just play the game of, like, let's just say she's, for hypothesis, like, she is actually there, right? Hypothetically. Mm-hmm. Like, you saw the chaos at the end of that episode. I don't think people are worried about who's wearing what and how they don't fit in.
True.
I think there's a lot of family being ripped apart. People who can't all of a sudden find their family because it is so crazy. Like, that ending shot had more of an impact on me the second time I watched it through. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
And just how many people are trying desperately to get onto the trains, try to get the heck out of town, to try to keep their families together, and people are just throwing things on top of the train and trying to climb on board.
Yeah.
And
it's like they can't
see what
fit
a mess
any more
it was.
people. Yeah, as they pull the camera back to a wider shot, wow, it was insane.
And Wilhelm, I do like the juicy little what is that called? What is it called when you have something that sounds like something else? I guess kind of a pun, where the grandmother just goes, "It's just genetics."
Oh yeah, MK
like
wrote that.
Genetics.
Yeah, like DJ, DJINN.
And yeah, MK said.
Very, very funny.
I was like, when someone pointed that out to me too, I was like, oh yeah, the genetics.
The genetics. So overall, I like that. I like this one because we got some action. We got a really cool chase scene. We got to meet the Red Dagger, but we got to learn more about not just the origin of her power and the bracelet but like we got to see like more about their culture and about partition, because that's something it's interesting. Like, you go to school and you're in these history classes, and some of these histories are like called world history, but you don't hear about this.
There's a lot of things I have to admit
I'm learning through TV.
That we learned from television, but we didn't learn about in school.
Yeah, like I think I briefly maybe learned about what was the thing that they showed in Lovecraft Country?
Oh yeah, I've talked about it. Yeah.
I don't know why the name is escaping me, but like
Tulsa.
Yes, like you briefly touch on it in school, but then like I'm learning it, which is great. I'm all for like learning it in whatever capacity, but it's like schools should be, like, if it's part of history.
Yeah.
Whether it's U.S. history or world history, I think like we should know about it. Like when I left Taiwan, I was so young that like in the curriculum, like world history wasn't a part of it yet. But I wonder if they would have talked about it.
I don't think so. I think it was for so long just buried.
I probably would just talk to my cousins and ask them about it, because they all finished school there. Before we go on and continue with our spoiler discussion, we have a super chat from Roger.
Thank you so much, Roger.
5171. Thank you so much. Who writes, "Is there the possibility of running into great grandmother paradox in Miss Marvel?"
Oh, to where is it a paradox? Like, say, for example, if Kamala does bump into her grandmother in that time, she
wouldn't know who she is.
She would, because she would be a young child.
Yes.
And also, whether or not Kamala actually is the one who does use the bangle to save her. Or if at this time, her grandmother has that bangle, but in the past. Mm-hmm. So is that going to create some kind of time paradox, or is it just the fact that this is more of like a memory that is locked within the bangle?
Possibly.
And it's kind of just playing on a loop. And so she just gets to see it, but she's not going to be able to interact with it, because this all happened when Kamala like raised her arm and it got stabbed with the spear.
Yes.
So it may have somehow gotten damaged.
That's very, very interesting. Another interesting thing about this is getting to meet the Red Dagger.
Yes.
And at first I was like, we can trust him, right? Because
probably not.
When we met Kamran's mom, we're like, well, she seems so nice, and then she turned heel real fast. I mean, she didn't turn heel. I think she's always been heel, but she deceived the viewers, and that was like, oh, it's just so quick. Who they were able to successfully break away from the DODC. Our friend Ethan was not in this episode, so I'm hoping the next 2 episodes we will get to see him.
Ethan, we want to see you.
Ethan.
And the DODC wasn't actually in this episode very much. We just got that one little, very quick, and I have to admit, very easy prison break for them to get out. For this to be, I mean, if this is going to be the prison, that it's actually a pretty big prison. It looks like they're going to be making it what the cube is in the comic books. Because I was sitting down and watching the breakdown from New Rockstars with Eric. If you guys get a chance to check out that video, it's an amazing breakdown. But that looks like the same prison that we saw in the trailer for She-Hulk, which means she's going to be working with this same organization in the She-Hulk series. And this is probably also the same prison that the Abomination is stored in. So I would think that this would have top-notch security, and this one group just was able to like punch out 2 guards and then escape real quickly. Even though I do have to admit, it's probably very helpful to have, no matter where you go, your weapon on you, to be able to always have your weapon on hand.
Is that? Sorry, I'm picking up something on our security camera. What is that?
Oh, did someone just kind of back in and then back out of
Sure. Oh, I gotta sneeze.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm really curious to see about when they're going to start incorporating more and more of the DODC, because we know they play a little bit bigger of a role because we've seen them in the trailers, and we know they still haven't what is it called, revealed all of their characters, because our buddy Ethan is in it somewhere.
Yeah, and we don't really know if he was like a day player or like what. Like
no,
I haven't asked him for information yet, but I might text him after today. I keep forgetting to. Thank you guys for the bless yous. I like this episode. I like that when Kamala was kind of, checking out that old train station, where she met the Red Dagger. I like the way she's using her power. It's very instinctual, I feel like, for her, as she slowly gets more and more familiar with the way her power works. But I think also like the one-on-one battle kind of forces her to figure out how her opponent fights very quickly. So I just can't wait as she gets more and more familiar and used to using her power, and like how far she can push her ability. I was very sad that one, I can't remember his name, but he didn't survive. Well,
oh yeah,
I don't know. Here's the thing with Marvel is like, you think somebody didn't survive, but then they show up in the next episode and you're like, oh, they survived. So we don't know, but he definitely tried really, really hard to help both of them get away. And these guys were just like hardcore, really, really want that bracelet, really want to get home. Half of me, halfway through the chase, I was thinking, oh, is Kamran going to show up somehow? And what his mom said to him was terrible.
Yeah, to where it's kind of like, you're no longer a part of the family. I'm like, wow, she went from like 0 to 100 of evilness pretty
real
quickly.
Quick. Yeah. So I imagine the next 2 episodes, because they got to ramp everything up to wrap up the series. So like, while I could nitpick at the little time jumps and be like, how they get to India or Pakistan
really
so
fast,
like, I can say, well, for plot purposes, like, let's just say, and they're not technically humans, so like, let's just put them there real quick. But I do want to talk to you because Adit wrote this just now in the chat, who says, is there anything similar between the dimensions where the clandestine reside and Talo in Shang-Chi? And I know you read about this. You listened
I listened to the new Rockstar's breakdown of this, and I have notes on it because I was like, I want to talk about this. I want to bring this up because he described it so amazingly well, because there was some confusion about what's the difference between a universe and a realm or dimension. And so take, for example, that image that you saw of the sacred timeline in Loki, and how at the end of Loki you kind of saw it start to split off, and you saw all of that bright colors around. That is a universe, and as it starts to break off, you get different timelines, but all different variations of that universe. Mm-hmm. Then in between those, you have the that purple glowing space. Those are realms. So it's the buffer in between. Eric Voss kind of broke it down as, take universes as if you had like cookie cutter houses or a neighborhood that was, what are those called? Suburbs, where every house is the same, but every house is just a little bit different depending on who lives in there. Same thing with universes. Whatever variants live in there, and the differences between them, that's going to depend on the difference of the house. Mm-hmm. But the things between them, the roads, the bushes, the grass, those are all realms that's kind of separate and create this buffer zone. And that's where you have all these different realms. Like, so he broke them all down. There's the Noor realm, there's Talo from Shang-Chi, and also the realms beyond, where the dweller,
those thingies,
the dweller in darkness, and the soul sucker or soul eaters reside. There's the dark dimension, the quantum realm, the ancestral plane, the Duat underworld, Valhalla, the gap junction, the mirror dimension, the astral plane, the shadow realm, and the soul realm that Thanos was in when he got the soul stone. Yes. So all of these are possibly. Did we glitch for a second?
No, this is just, we're kind of buffering. Let us know if we're okay.
Yeah,
let us know. You seem to be.
It still seems to be coming out over there. But the fact that, what is it? All of these different realms and planes are pretty much the buffer zone in between, because there's still unknown creatures that live in there. And that's why in Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange and Moon Knight, some of those creatures that came from these realms are invisible.
Ooh.
Because they're from a different realm. That's why maybe vampires don't have a reflection. Because, now that's not something Eric Voss said. That's something that I just thought of.
You're adding on to it.
Yeah, he said that vampires might come from a different realm. And I'm like, well, that would make sense. And that's why vampires don't have a reflection. So there's so many different things. So there are these differences between realms, planes, and universes.
Yes.
So, and what is it? He did say that a lot of the realms and planes did have more of a spiritual connection. Like the only way to get into these realms was either through death or a special portal that you have to access through that, from our world to that one. But also at the end of Doctor Strange, oh shoot, what's her name that Charlize Theron, the character she plays? Clea comes in and she cuts a hole into the dark dimension.
She does.
So that's how she's able to transport from realm to universe to realm. And I'm just so excited that they are now just taking this huge part of the Marvel the Marvel universe, and now it's like, okay, we are using the multiverse, and we're now going to be fitting in this whole different universe or whole different aspect of realms and planes.
It's very interesting because I thought things were going to get pretty crazy with the multiverse, and now we've got different dimensions and realms, which is, I think, that's what's interesting about Phase 4, and I think it's they're introducing a lot of things, and they're using this phase to kind of bridge from the previous story into the next chapter, but you can't just jump in and just, there's got to be a build. Like, think about the first Avenger all the way to Avengers Endgame. Like, there was a lot of build up in between because you have established certain things and connect certain things, and they're building and building, and now they have the Disney Plus series that help supplement these extra things. So I think, like, by the time we get to the end of Phase 4, we are gonna be, as if our appetite isn't wet already from all the Marvel content, but I think, like, Phase 5 is gonna be bananas. That's what I think.
Oh yeah, it's going to be all over the place too, because there's now just so much stuff out there, and it's a good time to be a Marvel nerd.
It's a really good time, to be a comic book consumer and getting to see. And I hope that people are enjoying the show, because that's one of the things is I think once the series is over, I know Debbie had given us a whole list of, like, Miss Marvel comics to read up, and I think I'm going to do them after, because we're already so far into the series that we might as well finish it before getting into the comic books. But I would like to, take a dive into a couple of those comic books just to see,
and also
how much license they took.
A lot of things, a lot of times in these episodes, there are hidden QR codes.
Yes.
That you can find, scan those QR codes, and they're episodes, they are issues of free digital comics that you can actually watch. I believe this one was hidden on the guy that took the Polaroid of Kamala, and in that frame, which is actually funny because when you think about it, you're supposed to take the picture looking at the frame with you in it. He's taking the picture through the frame as opposed to but anyways,
he was just trying to take tourist money.
Exactly.
Trying to make a living as
tourist trap.
Yeah.
But there is that QR code in the frame of that selfie frame.
Do you think those QR codes expire? Like, if I were to go back?
I don't know. Actually, I should go back and see.
We should go back. Yeah, there's only 4 episodes, so we might as well go back today and, like, scan them.
I definitely want to find a free copy of Miss Marvel issue 1.
Yeah.
Because I think that was one of the free ones.
Okay, then we they do expire?
No.
Oh man.
Pooh.
Well, we'll give it a try and see. If not, then we will. You know what? We'll buy them. It's fine. So, anything else you want to add to episode 4 of Miss Marvel?
Well, let's see here. We talked about I'm trying to think of all the different. Because I've watched this episode a couple times.
You edited it, so you know it pretty well.
Even though now I'm trying to think back and be like, now it's all kind of just jumbled together. Mm-hmm. We talked about the prison break. We talked about that. I love that one reference. There was a reference in there that the first Red Dagger that she meets, about how come with me if you want to live, and then during the chase, it was very similar to that chase in Terminator, where they're on like the little bike and they're being chased by the big truck. And I love the similarities that they throw in there sometimes.
Yeah.
Just to be fun.
Yeah. Oh. You have to go back in time before the QR code expires.
No.
That sucks. Well, we definitely missed all of them then.
Well, maybe we can go back. I mean, I wonder if they only last for like one episode. 1 week. 1 week, probably, before the next one.
So that means we can get this last one.
Yes.
Yeah, we can probably still scan it and see, but we'll try and see what happens. So with that, I'm very much looking forward to episode 5. I know that there's still a lot they have to do. They have to. I imagine they're traveling back to the U.S. after Kamala finds or doesn't find some of the answers that she was looking for, but she's got to have that conversation with Nakia and explain the bangle and the power. Is Bruno okay? Because neither one of them were in this episode, and that's totally fine because this was a Kamala and like mom episode, which I liked a lot. Seeing the dynamic there, like, do we stay in Karachi for maybe half an episode for episode 5, and then she flies home, and then the bottom half of episode 5 plus episode 6 will be all in the U.S. because she's got to get her costume, which is funny. We have yet to see her in the costume.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with the reveal, but we saw the costume already, not just in like the promo stuff, but when we went to the premiere or the launch party, they actually had it, in a mannequin. It's such a pretty costume,
so cool.
And I was like, that's so interesting that it's here. I'm looking at it, and there was a little bit of breeze that day, so like the little. I wouldn't be surprised
if at the very end of the season, last episode, she gets it from either from Miss Marvel, from Carol, or from Monica.
Oh, you think?
Maybe, because it looks a little high tech for Bruno to make. But Bruno could. Well, he pulled off the mask pretty well.
The mask, and it looks really good on her.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, who knows? Yeah, Debbie says, I think Bruno helps make it. I think so too.
Yeah, but that's very possible.
Part of it, yeah.
Because he would put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it. Because it's like, I need to make it for my friend who's a superhero now. Yeah. And I've seen this scroll by a couple times. A couple people mentioned Squirrel Girl. Yes. I actually don't know that. I know of Squirrel Girl, but I don't know much.
I think it's too soon.
I think it's too soon, yeah. They'll probably save that one until, if they do a season 2, and after the Marvels. Maybe she's even part of the team in the Marvels.
There's just so much going on, probably.
Yeah, so many different stories.
I think we will see her in due time, but I don't think... I mean, I'd love to be wrong. But I think...
Next episode!
I think I'd be very surprised. It would be a pleasant surprise. Though I do think it is a bit early for her introduction through the series right now. But I think eventually we're going to get there, for sure. So with that, very excited for the next 2 episodes of Miss Marvel. We will have our reactions for that at its normal time now that we're only editing one show that night. So it won't be a struggle trying to do Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel, or not being able to be home because I had literally an 8 a.m. call time. So we watched it, and it was the opposite. Usually Dustin kind of like helps me out and make sure, we break down the set of where we're filming, make sure I don't need anything before I dive into like tunnel vision editing, Wendy. Where I was like, hey, you need anything? Okay, good night. And I got 3 hours of sleep because I was so anxious.
Dustin probably needs help.
Does he need help? Is he going to be okay?
And I was deliberately trying so hard to not be like, no, I can't bother her. She needs to be awake in 3 hours.
I was very tired.
Yeah,
it was a long day too, because I think it was
that was the 12-hour day on set.
12-hour day on set where like coffee stopped working.
Ugh.
Coffee
But yet you
didn't-
still had the jitters.
Yeah, I was like anxious all the time. So, but it was fine. It was fine. It's
The
what it is.
problem with relying on caffeine to get you through the day.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm gonna probably walk Navi real quick
Before it gets too roasty
yeah, before
hot.
the boom boom starts happening as well. So because I don't want her to be outside for that. She's like falling asleep right now. Anyways, we love you. Happy Saturday. Enjoy your 4th of July weekends. However you celebrate it, just be safe. And we will see you on Wednesday with another live stream. My thing, that's right, I unplugged it. I was trying to, I was like, why isn't my mouse working? All right, we love you guys. We'll see you soon.